I'll just start by saying a few things before I pass over to Richard and he'll push the start button, which is that this film, Honor, came out of doing the Poetics of Imagination, MA. And very early on, Martin Shaw said, he suggested that we would go out and brood at twilight. And I took this very, very much to heart and ended up doing it endlessly. And one thing I would say to everyone is it was completely transformative. And I'm actually rather mourning that I haven't got a reason to push my family away and go toddling out before I cook or do whatever has to be done in the evening. So here, over to you, Richard, if you can make it magically appear.
Yeah.
For Honor, 1. Frost-driven winter broods in falling darkness, closing light, opening night, waiting, listening for owl calls to herald moonrise and help to find the way home. For Honor, 2. You look like a flowering tree, but you are weather. Long meadow is light blue, ochre, olive green, flecks of orange, maroon, dreamlike browns, silver, white, gray, pearly. It smells of winter life. For honor. 3. The sharp air is brittle, my breath smoky. Listening to harsh voices of ravens, blackbird chatter, dripping all around. No wind. Only one bat. All senses are stretched beyond time. For honor. 4. When a cold gust of wind spills last year's pigeon eggs from a precarious nest, they fall and shatter. You are up a ladder in the new orchard, pruning young fruit trees. Early spring warms your hands as you move several delicate leaf buds aside. All the while, cold moss softens around the soles of my bare feet, and 2 mewing buzzards circle and waltz over our heads. For honor. 5. Within the drip lines are filaments, fungi, electrical impulses, minuscule tree creepers, messages aligning with insects, small-boned mammals, burying beetles, each to the other and with the forest in pulsing communication. Here, trying not to dwell in tragedy for the toppled overstory elders and understory seedlings, all stricken by disease. Pattern of light and death in ash, weeping, scarred. The season unfurls with replicas of perfection. O Mother, where art thou? Shall we chant all manner of magic, hold our breath and hop on one foot, stare down the evil eye, pray to tree gods? Or clear fell the ash, remove fallen wood, grind stumps, dig out roots, ignite a funeral pyre, replant with new disease-resistant species? O Mother, where art thou? For honor. 6. Divide the light if you dare, for it is something to watch seasons pass, to barely breathe listening to twilight when all of life is made infinite. I wonder about a compass to a universe where we could splash in storm clouds or climb high in the summer heaven of that bee-filled lime tree. Glimpsing a patch of lady's bedstraw, you are in my heart. Before the shadows deepen and the dew falls, leave your musical eyrie and come for a walk into twilight. Then forever.
Thank you again, Daphne. think I've seen that 5 or 6 times now. I'm still reveling in it.
I think one of the
frozen, or perhaps I have.
I think one of the am I unmuted? Yeah.
Yes.
One of the important things for me when I watch it now is remembering that all that was during lockdown, and that I had very, very strict rules of how everything is really field notes. Like the soundscape is accurate to the images and to the time that you see on the scroll, which is amazing to me because the birds in the dead of winter were operatic and almost spring-like. They were. I'd never listened to them properly before in the dead of winter. But one of the extraordinary things about the MA was that we did it. I mean, it was only later that I met some of the other students, and that we did it all on screen, and that we managed to become a tribe, and that we each were working in different ways, but in unity, at least from my point of view. And that it was an honor to be doing the MA during lockdown because it gave me this impetus. But then I had to learn how to do what usually is an art piece and put it on screen. And that was another element. But it was an honor. And it was an honor working with each other all through those very long and difficult months.
Emma, you've raised your hand. You're muted.
Thank you. Thank you, Daphne. Really, really enjoyed seeing the film again. It's just wonderful, and the sound is such a tonic, the sound. I actually closed my eyes momentarily by choice a couple of times and then came back. I was really struck by what you said at the beginning about mourning, that having that structure, that reason, and that's something that came up during the Borrowed Time symposium for me, because I went on a workshop walk where we were invited to look through a particular frame of life and death at the place we were walking in. Is that how we need permission of a project or a focus or a group or a community or something that's facilitated and held to immerse ourselves in the luxury of attention in the way that you have in this film, which is such a beautiful thing to witness? The quality of your attention and the way that's reflected in your writing, in the inky handwriting, in the sound and the images. But there's something about that potential and that power of how much our attention can be crystallized and heightened by having a really clear purpose and a really clear pattern and rhythm. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Lots of comments in the chat for you there, Daphne. Any more hands?
I believe Matt's hand is up.
Yeah. Thank you, Daphne. That was I was watching it and just feeling. I noticed how happy it was making me watching it, and just that sense. And it's like some people just take for granted, isn't it? But this sense of something shared and probably understood by everyone watching immediately. You don't need to explain why sitting and listening to the mallards at evening is filling you with a kind of gladness. But that is, I thought, as an offering for a forum on extinction, that was I really appreciated that take on it. And if I was thinking about that for myself, I would think of a conversation with Tom Baskerville that came up yesterday. It was a really lovely meeting with Tom Baskerville down in Manchester, working with Slate, and he ended up talking about love. He was sort of saying how often when we begin a conversation about extinction, what we're actually talking about comes down to love. It comes down to, it's almost like before running straight to the threat, the danger, the extermination, the loss, loss of what, you know, and just bringing that into the room, just bringing the abundance. It also, I thought your language was, it had some real, that phrase towards the end, divide the light if you dare. I just love that as a sort of bringing together. So yeah, just, I mean, that's not really a question, more just an appreciation. Triggers anything.
Okay. Thank you very much, Daphne. I can't see more hands, but there's lots more going on in the chat.